turns into why not. Tim, Samson, and Ryan.
What an awesome introduction, Erica. Thank you so much. Everyone seeing how harsh reality is for others growing up in poverty. Back when I mentored a young boy from the projects in the Big Brother Big Sister program, the #1 show in America was Wake Up Home. There's Wednesday, okay. But anyway, you guys know what I'm talking about. Community center, and that's when the dream was born. It was the vision for what would you do with $1 million if it were to make the world a better place. And I couldn't have brought the dream to life if it were not for my co-founder.
I jumped on board with more of an outside of the box building and execution background. I have a little bit of history in building things, designed, contracted, and constructed the first shipping container residence in the city of Asheville. We could do it better, that the building of homes could be more sustainable. Then I ran my own ad agency after college, worked in-house for some big companies, doing project management, logistics, marketing, and then, I recently helped rebuild my parent. More than anything else was the people that were involved with helping us to rebuild our homes. The volunteers, the community, willingness to show up for each other. And in that moment, I realized that some of the most powerful forms of wealth, but enough about us, let's show you what we are building. If I can figure this video out. Media.
Most innovative and efficient proposals to address mental health, safe shelters to address these issues. Most systems treat symptoms. We're focused on root causes and back.
The $1 million is definitely take as much children from the streets as possible, reduce homelessness. When one person finds food, they can concentrate to find shelter. He focuses more on also homelessness, shelter, and economic development. And that's what the heart should focus on. And anybody who is lost trying to find their ways will definitely know that the ABC is the way to the heart development, so we can all be missions.
We're working to redefine what wealth means in the world, and our ambition is to establish a new wealth index for society at large.
A plague with the Black community is two main things: mass incarceration and the lack of wealth. For even a nation, the Federal Reserve of the Black community, I'm going to be able to just flood money. Affording or buying a home is a part of you building wealth that you need. And in business, there is a way the fastest way to actually build wealth, but showing them how to do it. I think the excitement comes from just seeing the young people, just seeing that they have an opportunity, that someone really believes in them, that we believe that they are the future. You got to just showing like, yeah, we have got each other's back, and basically, like I said, supporting the youth all around.
We're looking for strategic partners, we're looking for sponsors, we're looking for donors, small scale, large scale. Let's pursue positive consciousness together. Please consider sharing your time, your talent, or your treasure.
Lisa J. Heathfield, you guys with, but you guys mentioned the new wealth index. What are back into our community?
With the number of houses, the number of cars, looking at.
Questions related. One, raise money for those. You know, you're an national.
Thing came to be, and where we're focusing specifically on and audience after phase one. So phase one is 3 project work, and we get traction. And
my thought is, you're out there funding other people's projects, deciding who you want to help support with your monies that you've collected.
People are applying for the grant are the connections that they've already made within the community to be able to help them support their this. Do they have a plan for the development of their project? You know, the kind of the foundational aspects, if that's there. And then they're publishing their short pitch reel on our social media channels. And so see, kind of raises different grant applicants to the top of this.
Hi, I'm Cynthia. This more?
experience model of healthcare or and so highlight mental health care arena, putting a spotlight on them and bringing more funding.
The application process is really easy to apply for a grant. The main, most important part is the idea. So if you're willing to kind of step up and do that, then you have a chance.
You've been filling in some blanks. My question was, or rather statement was, I'd love to hear more about the what would you do with $1 million in terms of how it works. So we mentioned prizes when Nikki was talking. I was like, I want to hear more about prizes.
Right.
So if you could just maybe talk a little bit more about how would I experience it as somebody potentially interested.
Yeah,
sure.
All of those things, actually.
So engage with the public. Day, the largest Earth Day event in North Carolina on Saturday.
Yeah, he's also going to be a bicycle day, pop-ups and events. We're going to be, when we are able to record a video of them running for the, maybe getting their idea funded on the street. I mean, we could literally catch and send in online.
Yeah.
So if you want to just record it yourself.
User-generated content. And then I also want to quick mention that another way that we're looking to capture people's visions is to work with community organizations that have young people, things, they as well. So if anybody knows such organizations, please let us know.
Yeah, activating. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey there, my name is Adam.
Hey, Adam.
So I've been fortunate to talk to Tim a lot, and we've talked a lot, and around the word consciousness and the relationship of consciousness and money, and the chasm sometimes it feels that exists between those two words. I'm curious, what are some of them, because it's not just intellectual, it's internal. And yes, the actions will be doing that. The engagement will do that. The proof, the evidence will do that. But are you guys?
I love where you're going with that, Adam, and I think that's part of why be a part of this process. I think that we really, more than just us, to be able to see this vision truly come to life.
Practice what we preach and not being attached to this lack mindset, this idea of the amount of dollars in your bank account or the amount of cars or how big your house is. Being a measure of wealth is something that we want to also enact in our own lives. That's why we've capped our executive salaries at the level of a median bachelor's degree, according to the United States Treasury. So we're not trying to become a lot of sadness. And so what we've been taught in this country of capitalism is that the way to make it in America is, it's MIL.
Okay.
is no measure of good health to be well adjusted to a sick society. And so we have people who are exhibiting signs of sickness because they are
not well adjusted, because all of us are trying to figure out the best way forward and consistently asking ourselves, what do I do? We come back to exactly what you guys are starting to Nobody can do any of this, and we're so disappointed because of what is coming at us, catastrophes around the world and the instability of a national economy, let alone geopolitical instability.
Yeah.
And so we have people who actually are actually in our community, people who are trying to spread the word, and they're being incarcerated, and it's not anybody's fault. No one is out to get them. We just don't have a system built for it. And so I guess what I want to say is money and resources separate the signal from the noise. And if you're going to around you. And so when I guess I'm a little bit passionate because of literally things I'm aware of that are happening in private lives in our community and how unprepared we are to act on it and do anything about it. And so I think that as we do that, our resources, all of them, if the banking system down, which potentially really could happen for a period of time, what would your wealth be? It would be the connections that you have, and we've gotten a taste of that after Helene, right? And all of our mental health went up after Helene, because that's the #1 time for the most positive time for mental health in humans as a population is in times of war or natural disaster, because the bullshit goes away, right? So I think that we can make wealth even more than $1 million. We feel isolated because we are not woven together, right? And so anyway, I'm just preaching.
Yeah, no, it's really
needed.
But I want to keep it together. The wealth, it comes through the weaving together of the humans and the humans that you can touch.
Amen.
Right?
Yeah, and this is a moonshot. Obviously, this is this is such a heavy lift. But at the end of the day, I just kept saying to myself, at least done, instead of just keep going along.
We have time for one more question.
Is this on?
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Well, I just wanted to address one thing. I don't know if it's a question or a suggestion, but I just want to talk about the selection process a little bit. It seems that's very robust. And I think what you're doing, you should make the selection with that selection, because I think that would also help people who selection community projects. Did you think about that, or how do you engage your board?
That's actually a great point, Daniel. And that is, ultimately part of the grand vision is to have participation be a factor in how we allocate funds. I mean, our advisors, we definitely would like to have more of a process in terms of, who gets grants. It's just kind of and that's why, we're kind of in this infancy of, the process. Great point, though.
Yeah, great point. We also want to make sure that, the money doesn't get tied up in the red tape, waiting for all the advisors to be able to get back to us and voting, et cetera. We want to make sure that the money goes straight through and it goes to the people that really need it the most in the moments that they need it. And right now, with the craziness that's happening in our world, we need a big push towards the people that can make a serious impact in our community and, in society. So.
You guys, that was super inspiring. All right, who here's inspired? There we go. Oh, and baby Jupiter's getting nervous. Can you guys wave at her? Aww. With Rishi, I can't, Stava, and what he is doing is basically backdoor training for AI, and almost like teaching the AI instead of the AI teaching us, which is really going to be very interesting. The digital nomads have leadership on tap. That's today. Today also is happening with the Digital Nomads tonight. Wisdom Fest is happening this weekend, and that's going to be happening on Saturday from 5 to 9 right here.
Cocktails is tomorrow night.
Oh.
Thursday, 4/16.
Great. That's fantastic. And then on Saturday, we have the guided nature hike at the North Carolina Arboretum for AY Pros. We are going to be led through the native azaleas by the director of the Arboretum. Okay, there we go. So if you're going to come to Wisdom Fest this week, just take a screenshot of this. This is a great opportunity to kind of bring it back to look at our thoughts instead of just, so, Adam, you're smiling. If you'd like to sponsor a great weekly event, and if you want to